say to you is you got to realize that procrastination is one of the sharpest swords of Iblis that he has used to hack and to cut down and to slay countless children of Adam from then up until this very day. It's one of the greatest weapons of shaitan is sofa. So be mindful of that. Procrastinating. And what's meant by procrastinating? It doesn't mean that you plan. It doesn't mean you think about the future. Procrastinating doesn't mean delay. But it means you have the ability to do something now, but you choose to say, I'll do it later. Everybody understand this? Some of the ulama of the past, they mention a similitude or a parable or a metaphor, a story of a man who procrastinates with something that you're never ever to procrastinate about, and that's tawbah. Making sins and stopping those sins. And he said it's a man who has land. And on the borders of his land, whether it be a wall or a gate, he finds a neighbor's tree. And the neighbor's tree is leaning on his side of the wall or of the land, the border. Okay? What happens when someone's tree is on your part of the sidewalk? Or you park under the wrong tree? The berries fall down, the birds, right? Leaves, some trees, pollen, whatever. You get the point? I don't want that stuff in my yard. I don't want that stuff on my car. But technically speaking, the tree is what? It's not on your side. So you can't really do much, right? Or the roots of the tree are so strong that it's breaking the concrete, right? So the man, he wants to get rid of this tree that's bothering his property. So he picks up his axe or his hatchet, his saw, and he begins to hack at the tree and hack at the tree. And as he's hacking at the tree, he finds that it's a hardwood tree, right? This wood is a solid wood. Oak, pine is tough wood, and it's very strong. And he starts to sweat, and his back starts to ache, and he becomes sore. He starts to lose his breath like, man, I don't know this tree was this thick, this tough. So he sits down for a second, let me take a break. Let me drink some water. Let me drink some lemonade, right, in America, right? A hot summer day. And he says, you know what? I'll come back and I'll chop this tree tomorrow. And he says, well, I'll wait till next week. And every day that goes by, every week that goes by, two things happen. Listen carefully. You got only a part of it. What happens as time goes by? The tree grows stronger and his back grows weaker. Think about that. Once you reach your prime, we're not talking about you're growing to strength. You reach your physical prime. Everything now, up, is going to do what now? It's going to stay there for a second, right? 5 years, 10 years maybe. And then your strength's going to what? Declining. And the exact opposite of the tree. Every year that goes by, the tree grows thicker and more solid. That had the method of taswif. And that's the similitude of procrastination. Going to Medina, you get older, your memory becomes weaker, different things happen in Saudi Arabia, change, blah, 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 and you get more engrossed into the dunya. More responsibilities, more bills, more hobbies, more this, more that. So procrastination is evil. Tawbah, doing the right thing, getting married, whatever the case may be, kicking this bad habit, the only way to get rid of procrastination is that you have to attack it at the jugular vein. You have to go right at it. Cold turkey, get rid of it today. Stop, break the bad habit. You can't keep delaying and delaying, living in a dream world. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Next question. Brother asked, sometimes when I pray, my backside going unintentionally. Is my prayer invalid? Do I have to do that prayer again? And what if I don't remember what prayer it was?
Your prayer is valid if your backside is exposed accidentally, if you were dressed properly, and something happened that caused your backside to be exposed. As far as if you were wearing skinny pants or skinny jeans or the sweatpants, whatever the people wear, the funny shape, real skinny and then like that, and your butt is exposed, then it's your fault. And you have no excuse for your odor being exposed or your body parts being exposed, whether that's your odor, whether Satrul awra shartun min shurut as-salah. Al-muhim, it's your fault for your body being exposed for dressing like that. You had no business wearing that tight, I don't want to say other things in the masjid type of clothes. Why you want to dress like that? Let alone you acting tough. What are you tough with skin tight clothes on? I don't get it. My era is different. I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. The era today is different. Back in the day, if your pants weren't baggy, if they weren't tight, but just a little tight, automatically they would call you gay. Nowadays, it's the exact opposite. The tighter your clothes, the more your butt is exposed, your underwear is showing. That's the sunnah. Right? You wear a small hoodie, tight pants, and your boxers, what have to be what? Shown. Is it not the case? Am I making this up? Half off, your whole behind sticking out. And you a gangster, you tough. You can't even conceal a gun like that. Right or wrong? Where are you going to hide it at? Right? May Allah make it easy for us all. I mean.
If a woman chooses to work, but when she doesn't have to do that, does the husband still have to provide for her?
The answer is yes. A woman isn't responsible for spending a dime. Anything that she gives or contributes is sadaqah, as a default. However, if you got married to a woman and she wasn't the traditional Orthodox housewife, she had a job or a career, and it was known and established that you wouldn't be paying all of the bills, etc., 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 that's a different story, based off of your mutual understanding, right? But if that isn't the case, and she says, I don't feel like working anymore, you're responsible for providing for her. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Chef, brother is asking, why don't we take lessons from idiot people, like idiots?
We never said that you don't take lessons from idiots. We never said that. We said that the idiot is the one who is the lesson. That's what we said. We learn from idiots. And as he said, these are the ways for men who wish to learn my strategy. Right? And he said, pay attention even to a trifle. Pay attention even to a what? A trifle. You can learn from anybody and everybody. You never ever discriminate the truth or wisdom or the benefit, the fa'idah. But we said you yourself don't want to be the lesson. The idiot that the people say, that's crazy what happened to such and such. That's what we said. Wallahu alam.
Is a Muslim supposed to have a girlfriend?
Is a Muslim supposed to have a girlfriend? Yeah, for sure. His wife. Your wife is your girlfriend, right? She's your companion. She's the one that you love and you're in love with. You still have that kindling fire, right? That's your wife, though. You get the point I'm trying to make? Because many people, let's keep it real, right, for a second. Certain things I can't say right now. They asked the man one day, they said, what happened to you, they asked him, all right, let's keep it real now, all right? You mentioned intimacy, right? They asked the man, a man, he was with a woman. And the woman, they weren't married. They were making zina, waliyadhu billah, right? Now stay with me, guys. You understand when I'm joking and when I'm playing the devil's advocate, right? To get you to get the point, right? The other day, somebody had asked me if a man wants a second wife, but his mother says, don't get a second wife because it isn't your culture, you can't get one. And I answered the question, I said, of course, disregard the sunnah and listen to your mother and the culture. Somebody commented and said, Sheikh wasn't serious, was he? Common sense would tell you what? We're trying to make a point. Disregard the teachings of Islam for your mother and your culture to show you the ugliness of that. You guys get the point or not? Yeah. You understand? Of course you don't follow the hadith, you listen to your culture. Common sense, that's what? Backwards. So there was a man who had a woman, they were lovers. And then they got married. So the man, obviously he wasn't a Muslim, and he wasn't a Muslim. He would tell his friends about how passionate his love was for this woman and how good their intimacy was. Obviously we as Muslims, we don't do this. But this is a story. And then all of a sudden they noticed that the man had changed. His smile wasn't the same as it used to be. He wasn't as happy and, go lucky as he used to be. He was a little down and out. So they asked him and said, what happened to you? Aren't you with such and such? This woman, she's beautiful, she's this, she's that. You used to tell us all of these crazy stories. He said, what happened to you guys, sex life? He said, we got married. You get the moral of the story? All of that died because we're what? Because we're married. And that isn't how it's supposed to be. So a man, he has a girlfriend, he goes out, he dresses up, he looks nice, he looks smooth, he takes care of himself. They go out, they go to the club, they do this, they have fun, etc., etc., etc. But when he gets married, it's the beer belly, it's bills, it's depression, it's children, sleep in different rooms. I'm sleeping on the sofa tonight, the food is in the microwave, the hair is not done. You guys get the point I'm trying to make? When they were making zina, everything was crispy. Get it? So the point I'm trying to get to is, in Islam and marriage, you're supposed to keep the things what? Crispy, spicy, in the halal way. You get it? You understand the point I'm trying to make? So many men, how they are with women, they make zina with excitement. With his wife, halal tayyib, boring. And it isn't supposed to what? This is not how it's supposed to be. That's the point I'm trying to make. So that's supposed to be your girlfriend, right? You talk to this woman for hours out the day. You call her, you this, you send her this. You have that love, that affection, that attraction. And not just, I got to go home to my wife tonight. Or my husband, you know what I look like? Yeah, I didn't do my hair. I had no time to do my hair. I got to do this with the babies. I got to cook. I got to clean. I had to deal with your mother. No, I had no time to do my hair. She would have never, ever said that if she wasn't wearing hijab and if she was out in the streets trying to get a man. Bottom line, her hair will be done to the T, no matter how many responsibilities she had. So keep that mentality. That's the point I'm trying to make. Wallahu a'lam.
Can a woman build a house while being married and she's in her husband's house?
If it's her money, then the husband, he can't dictate to her what she does with her money in general. If it's something that displeases the husband, then she should listen to her husband and obey her husband. However, that's her money, that's her wealth. So therefore, any husband that's reasonable, I don't see the problem with building a house. Unless a woman is planning on leaving him. Plan B. Or unless a woman is going to be disrespectful and disobedient to her husband because she has her own house. That's a different story. I'll answer this question by saying one of the biggest problems that we have in marriages is the problem of control. And most of us are control freaks. But only a few of us will accept it. I have to have all of the control. She, the woman, has to have what? All of the control. The mother-in-law has to have all of the control. Your mother micromanages you because she's a control freak. And if you're a control freak, something is imbalanced, is off. And what you are that greedy, and what you have to dictate every single movement of a person. So a woman, she says, this is my house. I'm not getting rid of it. Come move in with me, because she's a what? Control freak. A man has a house. A wife wants to invest in a property, real estate. You can't do that. No, I don't want you to have any property unless it's my property. He's a what? You guys get the point? So beware of that. Wallahu a'lam.
If the husband asks for divorce and he tells his wife not to pay the dowry, does she still have to pay?
If a woman asks for divorce?
If the husband asks for divorce and he tells his wife not to pay the dowry, like tell her it's okay not to pay, does he have to?
Right. A man doesn't ask for divorce. The woman asks for divorce. وَلِلْرِجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ. The talaq is in the man's hand. But perhaps the questioner meant that the woman is going to ask for the divorce, the khula. And the husband says, you don't have to give me back the mahr. If that's the question, then no. The mahr is not mandatory to be paid back. But the mahr is a ransom. You're my captive. You're my prisoner. I can do what I want with you. If I want, I can kill you. Geneva Convention or not. You're my captive. If I want, I can ransom you. You want your soldier, your general back? pay us this amount of money. And if I want to, I can do what? You're free to go. Everyone understand this? So the khula can be valid without the returning of the mahr. But it's in place for when the man says, I will not divorce you unless fi maftadat, the fida. Everyone understand this? As far as if he wants to be open-handed, then no problem. Wallahu alam. 100K, huh? Allahu Akbar.
Brother is asking for dua for exam and success in life. Dua for an exam and success in life in general.
A dua for an exam or for success in life. There are many du'as. Full of du'as, yani the Quran and the Sunnah. General and specific. If one came to my mind at the moment, then I would advise you to say, Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla. Wa anta idha shitta taj'alul huzna sahla. Oh Allah, nothing is easy except for that which you make easy. And oh Allah, you have the power and the ability to turn sadness into ease. So there's no exam that's easy unless Allah allows you to. And a failure can turn into a success just like that. And most importantly, what you get of your grades is a part of your qadr. You have to accept that. Try your best, and the rest is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to accept that. Wallahu ta'ala.
When you realize that your iman is going low, what can you do to stop it? Make it better.
You're realizing that your iman is plummeting, it's going low. What do? Never look where you fall, look where you slip. What's causing your iman to go low? Your friends, your occupation, how you talk, how you eat, how you drink, how you sleep, your lifestyle. What's the distraction? What's the active ingredient in ruining your iman? You got to pinpoint that. Once you get that, then you take the necessary steps of getting rid of that active ingredient. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
What advice can you give to the youth organizations in the masjid? And those who are active in dawah? How can board members in the masjid work together lovingly?
My advice to the board members and those who are working in dawah is to be professionals in every meaning of the word. A professional. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the house of Allah. It's about the dawah. The best one, the one who's most suited, is the one who takes the job and the position. Bottom line. He's the imam of the masjid because he has the most knowledge, because he's the most pious, because he's the most righteous. Bottom line. This one is in charge of the money and the finances of the masjid because he's the best money man. Whether he comes from my hood, your tribe, this and that. Be a professional. Who are you working for? Allah or yourself? To prove yourself, to outdo others, or to go to Jannah. That's my nasiha. And once, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, you have that tajarrud lillah, okay? You leave off everything away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything becomes easier. Ala lillahi dinul khalis. Remind yourself, who are you working for? And the shaitan can send you to the fire of hell, waliyadu billah, through dawah. That may sound like a weird statement or a crazy statement, but it's true. Be mindful of that. Get rid of your ego. Get rid of your pride. Work for the sake of Allah. Work for the benefit of the Muslims, for the support of the community. Once you do that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, everything else becomes easy and simple. Wallahu ta'ala alam. And don't worry about what the next man is doing. And don't check the next man's intention. Focus on yourself. Work on yourself. And give advice. Watawassaw. All right, to give each other advice with regards to being sincere for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and beware of petty squabbles. Beware of envy and jealousy. Beware of fighting over money. Fighting over power. We were all good when the masjid was small, right? When the dawah channel was small. But when we start getting thousands and millions of views and followers, and we start expanding, then our egos became inflated. Every Friday, we would go over your house and eat dinner. Now we have the money. When's the last time I've been over your house? Now I start envying you. I'm the head honcho. I'm in charge. No, 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 no. Avoid that stuff. Wallahu ta'ala.
Brother says he doesn't think that he's financially ready to get married, meaning he doesn't have a career yet. Is that a good way to take Islam?
Yes or no? The yes part is that if you're not ready to work and to earn money and to save money and to provide, then practically you're not ready to get married. But the no part is money and wealth comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And never allow money to prevent you from being righteous, from accepting the truth and doing what you need to do, getting closer to Allah. And this was one of the main reasons why the pagans of Mecca refused the Prophet's dawah, is that they were afraid and scared. If they listened to this young man, the other Arabian tribes would lose respect and fear of them. They were afraid and scared that the other tribes would stop paying tribute. They were the owners, they were the custodians of the Kaaba. You know how much wealth and prestige that brought them? Every year on Hajj, the mushriks will make Hajj. They worshipped Allah, but they made shirk with Allah. So they had to pay. They had to offer gifts. They had to send delegates, etc. Quraysh, they were the top dogs of the Arab tribes. And if the other Arab tribes hear that we disgraced our forefathers for what this young man is saying, this young boy, how are they going to respect us and listen to us? They're going to lose respect. So this is one of the main reasons why they did not listen, and that is the secret why Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Then what does Allah say? Min rizqin. Akmil. And yut'imun. Limada? Why doesn't Allah want the rizq? Why doesn't Allah want them to feed them? Inna Allah huwa ar-razzaqu dhul quwwatil mateen. And what ayat come before that ayah? What does Allah say? Ya Allah, Father al-Quran. We don't need tafkir. We need you to pull it from the hip. Be sharp. Allah talks about the rizq, right? Ya'idul faqara bil-fahsha. So the shaitan, one of his tricks is that it gets you to be afraid of money, scared of money, and worried about money. And that prevents you from doing the right thing. Your rizq isn't from your own earnings. It's not from your own back or mind. It's from Allah. So if getting married is going to make you closer to Allah, if it's going to save you from the fire, if it's going to make you a better Muslim, Bismillah. That's all you need. No one is ready to get married financially. There's always a debt. There's always a need. There's always a want. There's always a newer model. There's always a fancier, flashier 2022, 2023. There's always a bigger, better car. There's always a bigger, better house, right? That's the point I'm trying to get to. Never allow fear of poverty to prevent you from righteousness. That's a quotable. Never allow fear of poverty to prevent you from what? Righteousness. As far as a worldly decision, that's a different story. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. But if it's getting you closer to Allah, don't worry about the money. The money will come. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He will provide you. And Allah will never ever waste His servant. What does the Prophet tell us that Allah says? وَلَئِنْ أَتَانِي يَمْشِي أَتَيْتُهُ هَرْوَلَةً. If my servant walks to me, I run to him. So why are you getting married except that you want to do the what? The right thing. Having a girlfriend. Girlfriend's easy. Making zina is what? Easy, simple. Going against the grain, getting married, you're trying to get closer to Allah. Is Allah going to waste you? Is Allah going to leave you? No. So you have to have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can get married and you just want to lay on the sofa all day and play video games. It doesn't mean that you're on Instagram all day, on TikTok all day, freeloading off of your mother. All 3 meals are provided by your mom. You just eat and sleep all day and you say, I want to get married. You have to have the right mindset that you're a man now. Right? That's the point I'm trying to get to. Wallahu a'lam.
When someone does not want to marry a man, but a woman does not want to marry a certain person, but a parent is forcing the marriage, is the person disobedient for not allowing or accepting?
No, she's not disobedient. The father is not allowed to force his grown daughter to marry someone that she isn't pleased with. It's impermissible. He does not have that right. If she's younger, it's a different story, an arranged marriage or whatever. But once she's of age, he can only marry her to someone that she has given her consent for. So if she says no, she is not disobedient. If she has valid reasons why she doesn't want to listen to her parents, then I would advise her to stick to her valid reasons. As far as if there are no valid reasons, and the parents, they have their solid reasons, she really doesn't know, you trust your father, you trust your mother, you want to please them, that's a different story. But I have clear Islamic reasons that I want to marry this person, or other reasons. I'm not going to be happy. Your father cannot force you to marry that man.
Is it halal for a male to get twists on the head or braids?
In general, yes. A man can have braids, a man can have certain types of twists in general. Some styles, some locks, some hairstyles are clearly haram, and if not haram, they're makruh, disliked. But the general ruling on a man plaiting his hair or tying his hair is not haram. Wallahu a'lam.
Can a Muslim stay single?
Can a Muslim stay single? It depends. In general, why would a Muslim person want to be single? Why would you just want to spend the rest of your life by yourself? Who's waking you up for Fajr? Who are you praying with at nighttime? How are you going to break your fast when you're not in the masjid or whatever the case may be? The sunnahs of having children, raising a family, right? Don't you want to pass on? Don't you want to have a little you one day to raise better than how you were raised? Give him a better opportunity? What Muslim would have that mindset? Right? Wallahu alam.
Brother is asking, what's your point of view in homosexuality?
What's my point of view concerning homosexuality? I find it utterly disgusting. That's my point of view. Now, if I catch some heat for this or banned or whatever, then so be it. But he asked me my point of view. As far as the Islamic ruling, then that's, what did the Arabs, they say? فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَصِحُ فِي الْأَذْهَانِ شَيْءٌ. And it says nothing can be thought of. What? Either, they says when the son needs dalil. When the son needs proof and evidence, nothing can make sense. Right? On the impermissibility of homosexuality in Islam. If you ask my personal opinion, my point of view is as I've just answered. Wallahu alam.
At family gatherings, do men and women have to be separated, like cousins, brothers, sisters, in-laws?
Like we said last night, we explained last night, right? We gave all those answers last night, but in general, I think at a family gathering, there can be a time in which they're totally separate, and then there can be a time in which they're in one room. Understand? So let's say, for example, the meals. Let the men and the women be separate. The women don't have to be covered up. They're hot. They can relax. They can laugh. They can joke. They can eat. But when there's tea and the dessert, everyone sit in a general room. Mumkin. Properly dressed. No perfume. Like we explained last night, right? Right? So it depends. It depends on the setting, like we explained last night. Wallahu alam.
Can a Muslim marry a Christian?
Yes and no, like we explained last night. A strong Muslim, yes. Christian woman who's a real Christian, who's clean and chaste, right? Like I said, she can't dress like whatever outside. Even though she doesn't wear hijab, she has to wear loose clothes. How you want to walk down the street as a Muslim? You got a beard and a thobe, and your Christian wife got on a miniskirt. How's that going to look? If you have a daughter, how confused is your daughter going to be? Hijab or miniskirt? You guys get the point? So the Muslim who's a strong Muslim man, I don't force you upon your religion. La ikraha fi din. You're a Christian, you're a Jew, no problem. You live in my house, we eat together, we don't oppress you, wrong you. But Islam is in this household. And my children will be raised as Muslims. They will not go to the church or the synagogue. Hands down, period. End of discussion. If you think that's unfair, that's not right, ma salama. You can marry somebody else, but not me. So if that's what type of Muslim you are, then yes. As far as if you're weak, soft, shelled turtle type Muslim, then no. 50% Islam, 50% Christianity. They go to church. Oh, your mother's a Catholic. You can learn Catholicism too. And la. Wallahu a'lam.
Can a man divorce his wife if she can't give him kids?
Can a man divorce his wife if she cannot give him children? He shouldn't divorce her. He should get another wife. It's one of the reasons behind polygyny. He should marry another wife. If she's a good woman and he's pleased with her, he should be patient and take the good from her. If he can't be patient, or he doesn't want another wife, and he just can't bear that, and it's proven that she cannot have children, different story. But I will say this. Never rush in blaming the woman for not having children. It could be you. You could be the problem. Or, nothing is wrong with her, nothing is wrong with you, but you're not doing it the right way, at the right time, right? Talk to a specialist. Maybe you need some lover's brew, huh? Tayyib? Wallahu a'lam. There's a fiqh to pregnancy, right? Just because you have intercourse doesn't mean that a woman's going to get pregnant like that. You'd be shocked. Wallahu a'lam. Now, Talib?
Inshallah, last question from here. What can we do when we start getting doubts in Islam?
When we start getting what?
Doubts.
What do we do when we start getting doubts in Islam? Well, I'll say this, guys, and this is my opinion, wallahu a'lam, my personal opinion. I don't think that there's a Muslim who has doubts about Islam. I think that is an illusion. It doesn't exist. There's no Muslim who doubts Islam. But there may be an ayah or hadith, there may be an issue, there may be a topic that's sensitive, you don't have the full explanation of. You may have a traumatic experience. I'm trying to come to grips with slavery in Islam. How can Muslims have a slave? All the stuff that was done. But there's no Muslim who's going to doubt Islam and have a doubt about Islam. I don't think it exists. And many people, they call things doubts, which aren't actually doubts. It's just an unanswered question. Or it's an issue that scratches or bothers them, but it is an actual what? Doubt about the deen. So there's wiswas, or there's shubha, amr mushtabih, هذا لا يعني أنه إيش شك, right? So many people, they use the word too loosely. I don't think there's a Muslim who has a doubt about Islam. I don't know if this hadith is authentic. I don't know the interpretation of the hadith versus a person who just flats out and rejects an authentic. You get the point I'm trying to make? Allah Azza wa Jalla surely knows best, and with him is all success. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا وإمامنا محمد.